Hi there, it's Chris Tuck from West Wickham Health and Fitness here with Marvin Burton at Canberra Sands on Sunday. I just caught hold of Marvin after doing his stretch class this morning, which was absolutely fantastic. Marvin's just going to talk to us today about posture and better movement and mobility and his take on all of it, really. So hi Marvin, how are you?
Okay Chris, thanks, not too bad. Yeah, it's an approach that people generally overlook, and I've seen that I've worked in fitness now for 12 years, and I think the analogy of you wouldn't build a house by putting the roof on first really hits home with people, because there's a lot of people that go and take part in fitness classes that are probably beyond their capabilities, from a movement point of view, from an aesthetic point of view. If they've never exercised, or they've exercised very little, and then they start going to a class where they're sprinting and jumping and doing plyometric explosive work, it doesn't sit well with them, short term or long term. Short term is a lot of pains and aches and probably a few days in bed, maybe a couple of days off work at the worst case, and then long term just repetitive strain. And what I see, I've had somebody this week in fact say to me, I'm going from, they've never ran even a 10k or a fun run, and they're going to do an ultra marathon.
Wow.
So it's that kind of thing that's really frustrating, because I know for a fact that 12 months down the line you can have stress fractures, you're going to have wore away joints, the whole chain's going to change. And what you need to remember is, from fitness, is every time you exercise and stretch, your body starts to change. The structure and the framework of your body starts to change. The connective tissue, the structure, like I say, the bone joint alignment, your ligaments, your tendons, all these things that people hear and they know what they are but they're not quite sure what they do, they start to change because they get stronger. And when they get stronger, they manipulate further up. So it's not uncommon for someone to start exercising at a low level and then they start to get some pain further up the chain. And then we can start saying, right, where did it go wrong? We can take it back and start again. The problem with going from 0 to 100 miles per hour very quickly is we don't know where we went wrong along the way.
Okay.
So then they go into these camps or boot camps where they're doing, like I say, lots of press-ups, lots of burpees, and yet 2 weeks ago they didn't even know what one was.
Yeah, sitting on the sofa.
Exactly, and they get up there and they're not mobile. They've not got the same amount of muscle recruitment. The body is not able to digest and process that amount of, if we throw in a few words like the word cortisol, it's a hormone that releases when you stress your body, either physically, mentally or emotionally. So if you start stressing your body by doing lots of running straight off, then that cortisol builds up, and that all stores as body fat because it's got nowhere to go. It can't go to the liver, it can't go to the muscle, so it goes as body fat. So someone can start exercising and think they're doing really well, and the weight on the scale starts going down, but the body fat is actually multiplying.
Right, it's not a good thing.
It's not a good thing, so they're actually increasing the body fat. But because they can get in the genes now, they're thinking, oh great, it must be working, but they actually feel in agony and they can't sleep at night and their legs are aching all the time. So people can't distinguish the positives and negatives. Some things should happen, but a lot of things shouldn't happen. And people go, like I say, go start running 10 miles from nothing, and then they think that it's normal for the legs to be aching for 7 days.
So when we do like a fat loss and fitness camp for new people or people that haven't exercised for a long while, it's really to start off doing things at a slow pace, at their pace.
Definitely.
It's all about correct technique.
Yep.
It's all about progression rather than trying to, compete with other people in the group that are fitter.
If you look at it this way, if I ask you to pick a weight up and you're not very flexible and you've not very good posture, it doesn't matter what the weight is, your actual lifting technique isn't good anyway. So you're going to hurt yourself doing it. So this is an argument that we have in fitness all the time, because you've got people that like strength training, some people like flexibility training, some people like more of a functional approach. Well, if you don't have all three, you can't do it, because if you're not strong enough, you can't pick the weight up. If you're not flexible, you can't get the weight off the ground anyway. And if you're not functional to perform the task, you can't do it. So that tridox, those three things need to work together.
Yeah.
So you need to be strong, you need to be flexible, and you need to be functional. Now, to start that ball rolling, we need to start somewhere. We're not going to start off with strength because you're not strong to start off with. You're not very flexible, so we can't start off there. So the function bit's got to come almost first. That's your foundations.
Yeah.
How well can you move in different directions?
Yeah.
Can you hold your posture correctly? Can you bend properly, correctly, even squatting and lunging with no weight? Because if you can't do that, how can you lift 90 kilograms off the floor?
Yeah, you can't, can you?
It's impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that that's not important. I'm just saying that's along the way.
Yeah.
And it's a journey that we need to go through. And
yeah.
if we don't get that in the right order, then we're going to start getting asymmetries in muscles, we're going to get joint and ligament pain, we're going to get torn cartilage and tissue. That's where people go wrong. They go into the wrong area first. This has got to be a process, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got to start somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's the small things that make a large difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Now again, exercise for the unfit person or the person that's not exercised for a long time, as you pointed out earlier, can be just another stressor and muck their hormones up and keep the fat on, and that's not a good thing in a fat loss environment if that's what they want to do, if that's their goal. So again, sometimes it might even be on the advice of someone like us, a fitness pro, that tells them actually you need to take the day off, it's not good for you to exercise today. Go for a walk, de-stress, do something different.
Yeah, I've seen it along all my career. I had a particular client in particular. She's a group exercise coordinator, teaches, you know how they do, 100 classes a week, from everything, jumping about, on a bike, off a bike, running in the park, you name it, she's doing it, wanting to lose some body fat. So the best thing I could prescribe to her was to go on holiday. So it was a bank holiday weekend, her and her sister went to Spain for the weekend. They ate terribly, they drank everything. I'd taken her body fat before she went, took it when she came back. Body fat's dropped.
Really?
By eating badly,
Yeah.
hardly sleeping, and doing, you know, I'm not saying the sleep thing was good,
Yeah.
it's terrible, she should have slept more.
Yeah.
But the point was, she wasn't running around all day. She did no exercise apart from dancing. She was relaxing.
Yeah.
She was laughing. She was enjoying herself. She was having a good time. That's going to decrease the cortisol levels in your body. And you know what people need to understand is that if you're stressed and you're in a stressful job, that's a mental stress. So if you're doing figures and accounts all day, that's a mental stress. Your body knows that as stress.
Yeah,
it's
that's
either
it.
stressed or it's not stressed.
Yeah.
Now you leave that environment and you go straight to the gym and you start running as fast as you can on a treadmill. That's a physical stress. So that's stress and that's stress. So you've not helped yourself.
No.
You might feel better after because you're exhausted, but that's not helped you anyway, because your stress level's gone from here to here from exercising. So you've made the problem worse. So like you said, going for a walk, reading a book, going to a comedy club, going to the cinema, having a social night with your friends, they're actually what I'd prescribe to everybody.
Yeah.
Because if you're not doing those, then you're just going to be constantly bombarding, banging on the door, and it's stress constantly.
So it's all about really just having a balanced lifestyle, isn't it, Marvin?
You can't do it without it.
No.
It's impossible. Like I say, for 12 years now, I've tried everything from different diets, different training programs, if everything. And do you know what? As a percentage, I'd probably say 80% is lifestyle, 20% is exercise.
Yeah.
Because you know what? You can get the exercise really bad and still get good results if your lifestyle's correct.
Yeah.
You know, I've said this on radio recently. How many people have you heard that have said, I've just started a yoga class and I've lost 2 stone? And you're like, how have you lost 2 stone? Like stretching.
Yeah.
It's the relaxation.
Yeah.
It's making time for yourself that's a slower pace.
Yeah.
That's realigning your body, that's taking your time. It's taking you back to the start.
Yeah.
And when you get there, that's when your body starts saying, this is good for me. It starts to relax, starts to unwind. Now, if I said to you, you stood there and I said, now relax, your posture would change.
Yes.
Your shoulders are depressed, your posture would change. That's what we need to happen in a daily occurrence. If your posture changes because you're relaxing, you're going to sleep better. You sleep better, you're going to recover better. You recover better, you can exercise well.
Yeah.
Your flexibility improves because of less tension in your muscles.
Yeah.
Flexibility improves, you can lift more weight.
Yeah.
It's a chain reaction, and it knocks onto all of it. From, like I said at the beginning, it's your structure, it's your posture, it's your alignment, it's your breathing, it's your respiration. If you can control your breathing and relax, your heart's a muscle. Heart gets stronger, you can do more. You improve your hydration. Your actual beats per minute comes down. Your beats per minute comes down, you can go for longer. So you know, most of the people say to me, I can't do your class, Marvin, I'm not fit enough. Your fitness is fine, it's your hydration that's bad. For every litre of sweat that you lose, your heart rate is going to go about 8 beats per minute. So that means after an hour's class, you're going to be pulling up at 45 minutes instead of 60 minutes because you're fatigued, because your heart's exhausted, not because of you.
Yeah.
So you could go for longer if you just hydrated more. That's a lifestyle change.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a small thing.
So lifestyle is really, really critical anyway in a fat loss journey. Yeah. Nutrition. What's your take on nutrition?
Nutrition is, you can't have your nutrition unless you're organised, which is back to lifestyle.
Yeah.
And when I mean organised, I mean it's almost regimented. It's almost a bit OCD. You know, when you're eating, what you're eating, you bought the food in bulk. Everything in your cupboard's facing the same way. You know where your pots are, your pans are. You've got the right utensils in your kitchen. If you don't create the right environment to prepare food, you won't prepare good food. So you need to make sure that everything's in place first. So before, again, you start dramatically changing things, do things that are free. Get yourself a water filter. Make sure your cupboards haven't got the things in there that you're going to cheat with. If you open the fridge and you're absolutely starving, you see chocolate bars, guess what you're going to have?
Yeah.
It's the path of least resistance,
Yeah.
which is outlined in a good book from Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Body and the 4-Hour Workweek. So he says that you remove the path of least resistance, and what that means is when you open the cupboard, the first thing you see, if it's veg, if it's healthy foods, you're going to eat that.
Yeah.
If you've prepared it, if it's in storage containers ready for you to go bang, 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 here's my food, I'm ready, you'll do it.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes to prepare a meal.
No.
You know, that's what slow cooker's for.
Yeah.
So if you've not got one, go and buy one.
Yeah.
You can prepare food. I mean, I wake up every morning, I cook my breakfast and I cook my lunch at the same time. So I only have to wash it once, but I've prepared 2 meals.
Yeah.
So you're trying to reduce your time preparing foods and reduce your time going out shopping, because they're the things where you can spend time exercising,
Yeah.
going out with your friends, doing the things you want to do.
Yeah.
So really when people say to me, I've not got time, it's the biggest excuse that I've ever heard. You've got time, you're just not prepared.
Oh, they've just got to organise it
Yeah.
better, haven't
So
they?
my take on nutrition is there's plenty of ways of doing it, and there's plenty of different ways. Some people like to go more Paleolithic, some people are vegetarian, some people like a certain amount of vegetables and fruit. And do you know what? If it didn't work, or there wasn't different ways, then it wouldn't be the fitness industry, would it?
No.
There's hundreds of ways of doing everything. So it's wrong for me to say this is the way you should do it.
No.
I know the way I eat that's
Yeah.
good for me. I used to be obese myself, so I've found the formula that works for me. But you know, you've got to really find what works for you. And the way you do that is by rotating what you do, rotating your food and your exercise, and trying different things. You know, there's hundreds of millions of minerals. If you're not eating a balanced nutrition, then it's not going to work. So there's hundreds of vegetables. You need to rotate them all.
Yeah.
I say to my clients, what do you have for breakfast? It's normally either toast, yogurt, and
Yeah,
fruit,
or cereal.
cereals.
Yeah.
So right, they're on the ban list. They're
Yeah.
out the window. You can't have those.
Yeah.
So for the next 7 days, you can't have the same breakfast every day.
Yeah.
You've got to rotate your breakfast.
Yeah.
It gets them thinking.
Yeah.
It gets them thinking, right, what can I have? In that first couple of weeks, that initial couple of weeks, it's really hard for them because they're thinking, what can I have? What can't I have? Marvin, I'm allowed this. And they're ringing me up, and I'm saying, you've got to go and find it. Because if I tell you, I've not taught you.
Yeah.
You've got to learn to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Because if you get to 2 weeks and you've not been able to rotate your breakfast, then my program's not going to work for you.
No, you're
So
right.
that's for me to say, I'm sorry, it won't work. It won't work because you're not willing to go and find the options.
Yeah.
Because you've got to do it when I'm not there.
Yeah,
I'm only
absolutely.
there 2% of your time.
Yeah.
So you've got to do it the other 98%. So
What do you tell your clients to eat protein and veggies for breakfast? Because I get a lot of, I don't know, I can't do that. And I'm like, well, why
They've
can't you
never
do
tried
that? Just try it, you'll get
it's very simple.
energised.
They've never tried it.
Yeah,
You wake up and you try it. It's
yeah,
simple as that.
yeah,
You can't say something doesn't work if you've never tried it.
absolutely.
You can't say you can't do it if you've never had it. You know,
Yeah.
I said to someone the other day, when was the last time you had spinach? I don't like spinach. I said, when was the last time you had it? I've not had it for ages. How do you know you don't like it?
Yeah, because
When
taste
you-
buds change,
your
don't
taste
they?
buds change. Your absorption rate of food changes. You'll crave different foods when your body changes. So you've got to remember that. You've got to be open to change. And you know, it frustrates me when someone comes to you because they're overweight. They're obviously doing something wrong. I've suggested it and they've told me they can't do it. Their way works.
Yeah,
It doesn't. That's why you're here.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's why we've got to change it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be different. Because if it's not different, it's not going to work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's really harsh, but it's the truth, and you've got to be truthful with it. And
Yeah.
I've got to be truthful enough to clients to say it won't work between us because
Yeah.
I'm telling you to do something and you don't want to do it.
Yeah,
So really, the actual bottom line of this is you've got to be prepared to do it. It's your psychological state that's got to change. If you're not willing to wake up and have mackerel for breakfast, then it won't work because you're not willing to try something different. If you wake up and try it and then don't like it, fine.
yeah. Then we
can
find
move
something
on.
else, can't we?
But that first stepping stone is the trust between me and them.
Yeah,
And if they can't trust me to do that, it won't work.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm all for protein for breakfast because I know what it does
Yeah.
for the micronutrients in your stomach, for your hormonal profile, for everything that works in terms of digestion and regulation of energy. It is the only way.
Yeah.
But people have got to feel that.
Yeah.
And they've got, first of all, they need to trust my advice. So if they take that on board and then try it, and then find it works, then it's a win-win.
Yeah,
Because it will work
Yeah.
if they're open to it.
Yeah.
And I was the same. I started off, and I remember the first day when I had almonds and mackerel for breakfast.
right.
And I wasn't looking forward to it.
Yeah.
This is disgusting. Woke up, had it, felt fine, felt great, more energy. kept doing it. I was like, it's my favourite breakfast in the world. It really is.
Mackerels and almonds.
Mackerels and almonds. I love
Okay.
it.
No veggies with that?
No.
No.
Not for
Okay.
breakfast. But later on in the day, I'll have that. But I have a protein breakfast.
Okay.
And then the vegetables, I get a lot of vegetables in other ways.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't take in a lot of vegetables, if they're not having, I put a minimum down of 6 portions of different vegetables
A day.
And if they're not getting that 6, then yeah, you might need to bring it in for breakfast. But to be honest, I find it's a lot more, it's easy to digest and it's quicker to get in the body. But it's the first thing you eat in the morning needs to be a protein.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that hits your taste buds. It needs to be a solid. So liquids won't work. A protein shake I wouldn't advise, and I wouldn't advise a protein bar. I wouldn't put anyone in a protein bar or shake until the body fat's at about 10%.
Yeah.
So it's all depending on what their sport is. So I shouldn't say just 10%. So, but it will always depend on different people in different situations. But I always go for the protein breakfast, and it's got to be rotated.
Okay.
And I never shop at a supermarket for meat.
No, you always go organic, yeah?
Grass-fed organic.
Yeah.
There's no other way.
Yeah.
It's too low in omega-3 from a supermarket. And all the research that's done on high protein diets is done on supermarket or butcher's meat. It's not grass-fed organic, so it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
It's got to be high omega-3. It's got to be grass-fed organic.
So where do you get yours from? Do you go to a farm or do you get it delivered?
I've got a farm that delivers it to me.
Oh, right, okay.
Box. It comes frozen.
Yeah.
So this is, again, we're back to lifestyle.
Yes.
I know at the beginning of the month, my freezer's full of meat for the month.
Yeah.
Everything's there.
Yeah.
It's in place. All I need to do is the night before I go to bed, I get the meat out I want for breakfast.
Yeah.
On the plate, it's defrosted by the time I get to the morning. Naturally, it's defrosted as well. Wake up in the morning, cook the meat, cook my breakfast, cook my lunch, job done.
Do you have 3 lots of protein a day? Or 2 meals? More? You have 6?
I have 6. I call it feeds.
Okay,
6 feeds
you
a
have
day.
6 feeds.
So feeds can be snacks.
Yeah.
So 3 are your breakfast, lunch, and your evening meal. Your other 3 are snacks.
Yeah, okay.
And I always go for that.
So you believe in keeping topped up then?
I always keep
every
topped
3
up.
to 4 hours?
I work in fitness. I teach classes every day.
Yeah.
I train myself.
Yeah.
You know, if I wasn't topped up, I reach my protein goal, which is based on my weight.
Yeah.
I hit a water goal, which is based on my weight. So it's all worked out.
Right.
It's not made up. I do
Okay.
it. I have it all mapped out for me.
But you're a triathlete, aren't you? I believe,
I
or
was.
Ironman?
Was retired now.
Retired.
I only
but
did that to prove a point.
okay,
That you
but
don't have to eat very large amounts of starch and train ridiculously every day to do
okay.
it. So I did it from scratch.
Right.
So I did it, and I got a good score, beat some of the pros, and then I put it to bed.
So you've achieved that goal then?
Achieved it. All I want to do is prove people wrong. And
Yeah. Okay, lovely. So Marvin, thank you very much for just
No problem.
talking about all of this for me. Can you just tell my readers really where you came from? What did you do? Because I know you've been to America and you worked with the Grays Institute and
Yep.
you studied under them. Just tell us a little bit about your background.
I started off obese at school, waist 44-inch trousers. Left school, was very, very, very depressed. I went to a college that was in a very, very racist part of Derbyshire, so I couldn't leave sight. So some days I had one lesson, I had nothing to do for maybe 6 hours. So with having a weight problem, I just went to the gym. No one was in the gym, just go on my own, and I'd just read everything on the walls. I got textbooks and self-taught, and learned how to weight train and resistance train on my own. Started doing that. More and more weight started coming off. Started reading into nutrition. Kept going and going and going. When I was 17, I started working at my first gym. I worked for free. Then I got a job on reception, did reception sales, did fitness qualifications, did my aerobics qualifications, started teaching classes, started playing football semi-professional. So within 3 years, I'd lost nearly all my weight. People then started saying, "How did you lose all that weight? I need you to tell me and help me." Started helping people. Kept studying. Went and worked on a cruise ship. Went around the world. Director of fitness for a cruise ship company. Came back, worked in a school for 6 years, helping children with all kinds of things, from behaviour to eating problems to all sorts, to just studying better, anything like that, just telling them where I came from.
Yeah.
While doing that, studied sports massage, sports therapy, went to America, studied with the Gray Institute, came back, kept learning, kept visiting different continents, finding different ways, and just basically kept going to different conventions and asking more and more questions. And the question was, where did you find your information? Not what is your information. I don't care what the information is, I want to know where to get it from. I go to the source of the problem. I don't. The person that tells me is of no interest to me. I need to know where they got it from. So I need to question them. And that's why I spent £15,000 and went to see Gary Gray, because I believed he was the best person to ask.
Yeah.
And there's no one that I know in fitness that doesn't speak highly of him. and that hasn't learned under him. So I went straight to him, took his advice, and put the wheels in motion, and then went from there, and then the rest is history, really. I write courses. I'm a consultant for most health chains, or have been in the past. I've written a lot of programs that you see in health clubs from day to day. I'm just a bit of a behind the scenes guy, really. I like putting pen to paper and getting work out there to people, and trying to change the industry, which in a lot of ways I have. I remember a few years ago I was heavily criticised for doing Pilates standing up and moving in a Pilates class.
And now look, everywhere does it.
And,
yeah.
I'm not saying I was the only person
No.
to do it, but I was definitely one of the first.
Yeah.
And heavily criticised for it, and took all that on the chin.
Yeah.
And I'll keep doing that. I don't mind. I've got broad shoulders. I'll keep taking that in, and I don't mind telling people they're wrong. And as long as they're willing to learn,
Yeah.
which I am, I'll always listen, but I'll always have my own opinion as well. So
But that's where I came across you in Rachel Holmes, and you introduced me to all the try and play movement, and it sort of blew my brain a bit. But I do that in all my classes, and so many people have got better movement from it. So thank you very much for that. It's improved my classes and my business, and got me through my hip surgery as well. You know, better movement myself personally. So thank you very much. I'm not going to ask you what your future plans are, because well, I'm not.
Anything.
All right, could be anything. Yeah. All right. So thank you, Marvin, and speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.